Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects each and every one of us, sleep. You know, Thomas, sleep is something that we often take for granted until we don't get enough of it, right?
Absolutely, Jennifer. We all know how it feels to have a bad night's sleep, but we don't often think about the long-term effects. Sleep isn't just about resting. It's crucial for our overall health, both physical and mental.
Yes, and the importance of sleep goes far beyond just feeling refreshed. It impacts our concentration, memory, and even our mood. So in this episode, we'll explore how sleep affects different aspects of our lives and how we can improve our sleep habits.
I think it's safe to say that improving sleep is one of the easiest ways to boost our daily productivity. So let's dive into the details, shall we? Jennifer, one of the most immediate effects of a lack of sleep is on our physical health. I mean, when we don't sleep enough, our bodies don't have enough time to recover.
Exactly. Sleep is when our bodies repair themselves. It's crucial for our immune system. Lack of sleep can lead to all sorts of issues like heart problems, weakened immunity, and even weight gain.
I've read studies that suggest long-term sleep deprivation can increase the risk of chronic illnesses, too. It's amazing how something as simple as sleep can have such a big impact.
And people often underestimate how much sleep they need. 7 to 9 hours is the recommended range for adults. But so many people think they can get by on just 5 or 6.
Right, but even if we feel fine on less sleep, it's still doing harm in the long run. Our bodies need that downtime to function properly.
Let's switch gears and talk about how sleep impacts our mental health. This is a big one for a lot of people.
Yes, I think we all know how irritable we can get after a bad night's sleep. But beyond that, sleep is deeply connected to mental health conditions like anxiety and depression.
Exactly. Sleep deprivation can make it harder to manage stress and can worsen symptoms of anxiety and depression. It's like a vicious cycle. Poor sleep makes mental health worse, and poor mental health makes it harder to sleep.
That's why it's so important to establish a healthy sleep routine, especially for those dealing with mental health issues. It can make a world of difference in how they feel day to day.
Yes, and even small changes, like limiting screen time before bed or creating a relaxing bedtime routine, can improve sleep quality.
Another area where sleep plays a huge role is productivity. When you don't get enough sleep, it's almost impossible to stay focused and get things done efficiently.
That's true. Lack of sleep can lead to mistakes, decreased creativity, and slower problem-solving abilities. Our brains just don't work as well without adequate rest.
I've noticed that when I don't sleep well, even tasks that are normally easy feel like a huge effort. It's like trying to think through a fog.
Yes, and that's not just in our heads. Studies have shown that sleep-deprived people perform worse on cognitive tasks. So if you're looking to boost productivity, getting more sleep should be at the top of the list.
Definitely, sleep isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity for performing well, whether you're at work, school, or even just tackling your to-do list.
Something else that's really interesting is how sleep affects our emotions. Have you ever noticed that you're more emotionally reactive when you're tired?
Oh yes, definitely. I'm way more likely to get frustrated or overwhelmed when I haven't had enough sleep.
And that's because sleep helps regulate our emotions. Without enough sleep, we're less able to manage our emotional responses, which can lead to mood swings or irritability.
It's fascinating how something as simple as sleep can have such a profound effect on how we handle our emotions throughout the day.
Absolutely. It just shows that sleep is an essential part of maintaining emotional balance, too.
So now that we've covered why sleep is important, let's talk about how to improve sleep quality. Jennifer, do you have any tips for getting better sleep?
One thing that's helped me is setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time. It trains your body to follow a rhythm, which helps you fall asleep more easily and wake up feeling more refreshed.
That's a great tip. I also try to avoid caffeine in the evening. I love coffee, but it's not worth the trade-off of staying awake half the night.
Yes, caffeine can definitely interfere with sleep. Another tip is to create a calming bedtime routine, whether it's reading a book, meditating, or listening to relaxing music. Having a routine can signal to your body that it's time to wind down.
I've also found that creating a comfortable sleep environment helps. Things like blackout curtains, a good mattress, and keeping the room cool can make a big difference.
Definitely. And avoiding screens before bed is another big one. The blue light from phones and computers can trick your brain into thinking it's still daytime, making it harder to fall asleep. Another factor that affects sleep quality is our diet. Have you ever noticed how some foods make you feel drowsy while others keep you awake?
Oh yes, especially after a heavy meal. I've read that foods rich in carbohydrates can make you sleepy, but foods with too much sugar or caffeine can disrupt your sleep.
Exactly. Foods like turkey, bananas, and almonds are high in tryptophan, which can promote better sleep. On the other hand, spicy or fatty foods can cause indigestion and make it harder to fall asleep.
That makes sense. And as you mentioned before, caffeine is a big culprit. It's not just coffee either. Things like chocolate, tea, and even some medications can contain caffeine.
Yes, that's why it's so important to watch what you eat, especially in the evening. Eating light, balanced meals, and avoiding heavy snacks before bed can really help improve sleep quality.
Jennifer, another thing that can impact sleep is exercise. I've noticed that on days when I'm more active, I tend to sleep better at night. Have you experienced that?
Absolutely. Regular physical activity can help you fall asleep faster and enjoy deeper sleep. However, timing is important. Exercising too close to bedtime can actually keep you awake because your body is still revved up.
Yes, I've heard that exercising earlier in the day, like in the morning or afternoon, can help regulate your body's internal clock, making it easier to fall asleep at night.
That's right. Exercise also helps reduce stress and anxiety, which are common culprits of poor sleep. So, incorporating some form of physical activity into your daily routine can have great benefits for your sleep.
And the best part is that you don't need to do intense workouts to see improvements. Even light activities like walking, yoga, or stretching can make a difference.
Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about sleep disorders. For some people, no matter how much they try, they just can't get a good night's sleep due to conditions like insomnia, sleep apnea, or restless leg syndrome.
Yes, sleep disorders are a big issue for many people, and they can significantly affect quality of life. Insomnia, for example, can make it difficult to fall asleep or stay asleep, while sleep apnea causes breathing interruptions during the night.
Exactly. And these disorders not only disrupt sleep but can also lead to serious health problems like high blood pressure, heart disease, and even stroke.
If someone suspects they have a sleep disorder, it's important to seek medical advice. There are treatments available, from lifestyle changes to medical interventions, that can help improve sleep.
Absolutely. Getting the right diagnosis and treatment can make all the difference in restoring healthy sleep patterns.
Jennifer, we touched on this earlier, but let's dive deeper into the impact of technology on sleep. Our smartphones, tablets, and even televisions can seriously mess with our sleep schedules.
Yes, the blue light emitted by these devices can suppress melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate our sleep-wake cycle. This makes it harder to fall asleep, especially if you're using screens right before bed.
And it's not just the light, it's also the content we consume. Scrolling through social media or watching intense shows before bed can keep our minds stimulated when we should be winding down.
Exactly. That's why it's important to set boundaries with technology. Turning off devices an hour before bed and opting for activities like reading or listening to calming music can help signal to your body that it's time to sleep.
It's all about creating a healthy sleep environment that encourages rest rather than one that keeps us awake.
We've talked a lot about what we do before bed, but what about the bedroom itself? Your sleep environment plays a huge role in how well you rest.
Definitely. A quiet, cool, and dark room can make a world of difference. I've found that blackout curtains are a great investment. They block out any light and help me sleep more soundly.
I agree. The right mattress and pillows are also important. If your bed isn't comfortable, you're more likely to toss and turn all night. I think it's worth taking the time to find what works for you.
Yes, and even little things like reducing clutter in the bedroom can make it a more calming space. I've read that minimizing distractions helps your brain associate the room with sleep rather than work or stress.
That's a good point. I also use calming scents like lavender to relax before bed. It's all about creating a peaceful atmosphere where your mind and body can unwind.
One thing that I think is important to address is sleep anxiety. Sometimes, the pressure to get a good night's sleep can make falling asleep even harder.
That's so true. The more you worry about not sleeping, the more it can keep you awake. I've been there lying in bed, watching the clock, and stressing about how little sleep I'm getting.
Yes, that cycle is tough to break. One thing that helps me is practicing mindfulness or deep breathing exercises to calm my mind. Focusing on my breath helps me release the tension.
Mindfulness is great. I also find that keeping a regular sleep routine, even on weekends, helps reduce my anxiety around sleep. It makes going to bed and waking up feel more natural.
Exactly. And sometimes, accepting that a bad night's sleep happens can also reduce the stress. If you don't put pressure on yourself, it's easier to fall asleep naturally.
Thomas, how do you feel about naps? Some people swear by them, while others say they interfere with nighttime sleep.
I'm a fan of naps, but only if they're short. A 20 to 30-minute power nap can recharge me without making me feel groggy or affecting my sleep later.
I'm with you. If I nap too long, it's harder to fall asleep at night. But a quick nap in the early afternoon helps me stay energized for the rest of the day.
Yes, and naps can be great for improving mood and focus. But timing is key. Napping too late in the day can interfere with your sleep schedule.
Exactly. I also think it's important to listen to your body. If you feel tired during the day, a nap might be your body's way of telling you it needs a rest.
There's a lot of talk about sleep supplements like melatonin or herbal teas. What are your thoughts on using these to improve sleep?
I think they can be helpful, but it's important to use them cautiously. Melatonin can be effective for short-term sleep issues, but I try to rely on natural sleep habits first.
I agree. I've used melatonin occasionally when traveling or when my sleep schedule is off, but I don't think it should be a long-term solution.
Exactly. Herbal teas like chamomile or valerian root can also promote relaxation. But again, I believe the focus should be on lifestyle changes that support healthy sleep.
Yes, natural remedies can be great, but it's best to combine them with good sleep hygiene for the best results.
Thomas, have you heard of the concept of sleep debt? It's when you accumulate missed sleep over time, and it can take a toll on your health.
Yes, I've read about that. When you consistently get less sleep than you need, it builds up and you start to feel the effects: fatigue, moodiness, lack of focus.
Exactly. The tricky part is that you can't really make up for sleep debt by sleeping in on the weekends. It's better to aim for consistent sleep each night.
That's true. I've learned that trying to catch up on sleep doesn't work as well as just getting enough sleep regularly. That's why I've been focusing on maintaining a steady sleep schedule.
It's a balance. Giving your body what it needs each night is the best way to avoid falling into sleep debt.
Jennifer, there's also a strong connection between sleep and mental health. I've noticed that when I'm stressed or anxious, my sleep suffers.
Yes, it's a two-way street. Poor sleep can contribute to mental health issues like anxiety and depression, and mental health issues can, in turn, disrupt sleep.
Exactly. I find that prioritizing sleep and mental well-being goes hand in hand. When I take care of one, the other improves too.
That's why it's so important to establish healthy routines that support both sleep and mental health. Things like mindfulness, Regular physical activity and seeking support when needed can make a big difference.
Absolutely. A good night's sleep is essential for our emotional resilience and overall well-being.
Thomas, how do you manage your sleep schedule? I've found that consistency is key, but it's not always easy to stick to a routine.
You're right. I try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, even on weekends. It helps regulate my body's internal clock.
That's great. I've noticed that when I stick to a schedule, I fall asleep faster and wake up feeling more rested. It takes discipline, but it's worth it.
Yes, and it also helps to have a wind-down routine before bed. Whether it's reading, meditating, or just dimming the lights, it signals to your body that it's time to sleep.
Let's talk about the morning. Do you have any tips for waking up feeling refreshed?
Definitely. I avoid hitting the snooze button, even though it's tempting. Getting up right away helps me feel more alert.
That's a good tip. I also try to get some sunlight in the morning, which helps reset my internal clock and boosts my mood.
Yes, light exposure in the morning is so important. I also find that a good stretch or a bit of movement helps wake me up and get my day started on the right foot.
Thomas, have you ever noticed that as we age, our sleep patterns change? Older adults often have a harder time staying asleep.
Yes, I've read that too. As we age, our sleep cycles become shorter and we spend less time in deep sleep.
Exactly. It's common for older adults to wake up more frequently during the night, but that doesn't mean we need less sleep. It's still important to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep.
That's true. And creating a relaxing bedtime routine can help mitigate some of those changes and improve sleep quality. One thing we haven't discussed is how our social lives affect sleep. Do you think the people we spend time with influence our sleep habits?
Yes, I do. Staying out late with friends or keeping irregular hours because of social commitments can throw off your sleep schedule.
Exactly. It's important to find a balance between social activities and getting enough rest. Sometimes saying no to late-night plans is the best thing for your health.
Yes, it's all about prioritizing what's important. Good sleep should be part of that equation. Thomas, with all the advancements in technology, how do you see the future of sleep evolving?
I think we'll continue to see more smart devices and apps designed to track and improve sleep quality. Things like sleep trackers, smart beds, and even AI-driven sleep assistants are already becoming popular.
That's true, but I also think there will be a greater focus on natural solutions helping people develop healthy sleep habits without relying solely on technology. Thomas, I think it's important to mention how nutrition affects sleep as well. Have you noticed that certain foods impact how well you sleep?
Definitely. I've found that eating heavy meals or spicy foods too close to bedtime can really disrupt my sleep. It's like my body is too busy digesting to fully relax.
Yes, I've experienced that too. On the other hand, foods like bananas or almonds, which are rich in magnesium, can help promote relaxation and better sleep.
That's a good point. I also try to avoid caffeine and sugar in the late afternoon and evening, since they can keep me alert long after I want to be asleep.
Exactly. Nutrition and sleep go hand in hand, and eating well throughout the day can lead to a better night's rest.
Jennifer, I think we should touch on how sleep affects the immune system. Getting enough rest plays such a crucial role in staying healthy.
Absolutely. Sleep is when our bodies repair and regenerate, so not getting enough can leave us more vulnerable to illness.
Exactly. I've read that people who don't get enough sleep are more likely to catch colds or the flu. It's amazing how much of an impact sleep can have on our immune response.
Yes, and during times of stress or during flu season, it's even more important to prioritize sleep to keep our immune system strong. Jet lag is another sleep-related issue many people deal with, especially if they travel a lot. Do you have any tips for managing it, Thomas?
Yes, I try to gradually adjust my sleep schedule a few days before I travel to a new time zone. It helps my body adapt more easily when I arrive.
That's a great strategy. I also try to get some sunlight as soon as I land. Natural light helps reset the body's internal clock to the new time zone.
Yes, and staying hydrated and avoiding caffeine on the flight can make a big difference. Jet lag can be tough, but with a few adjustments, it's manageable.
Finally, Thomas, I think we should discuss how sleep aids in physical recovery, especially for those who exercise regularly.
That's a great point. Sleep is when our muscles repair and grow, and without enough of it, we can feel more fatigued and prone to injury.
Yes, sleep is essential for athletes or anyone who is physically active. It's when the body heals itself after workouts or long days, and neglecting it can slow down progress.
Exactly. That's why I always make sure to prioritize rest, especially after intense exercise. Sleep is a key component of physical health.